Good morning, everybody. This is Daniel here with Propelio, and I'm here with Erica Butler with GEB Properties. And we had previously done an interview with her husband, Tiger, but I was really intrigued by your story and how fast you've been able to come out of the gates and get this rolling. I mean, in less than a year and a half, you personally were able to retire yourself from your 9 to 5. And that's a really good accomplishment. I don't want to play that down at all. I mean, I wish I could have done that. So, I mean, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your transition from, how you got started in this, why you started in this, and how you were able to progress over the next year and a half and supplement your income.
Sure. Well, I mean, we started a year and a half ago. We originally got into investing because we did what we were supposed to do. We went to college, we got our degrees, we started our job, and it just didn't take long for us to realize this sucks. We did this so we could have more money and more time, and we have less money and less time, and so we looked at it for future. If we had kids, this wasn't going to work out. So we started looking into something else, starting a business, and like he said, our friends were getting into investing. So we were like, hey, let's do that. So we thought about it, didn't think about it long, just went into it, and here we are. And thankfully for him, he's very great at thinking and marketing and being creative. And so anytime we got into it, and he was like, what do you think of this? And I was like, sure, whatever. And then boom, he had it done, ready to go.
Wow.
Before I could even think about it. So we started doing some marketing, and it was working. We started getting some deals, and then all of a sudden, we got 6 contracts in 1 month.
Oh, wow.
And we were still both working at this time, and so we just ran like chickens with our heads cut off. We didn't know what to do. And so after that, they just started really consistently, nonstop, just coming in. And so he finally looked at me and said, it's time. And after a few arguments of, no, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I finally did it and haven't looked back since. We've been so busy.
How has that changed your perception on this over the past? How long have you been out of employment now?
Since February, so.
Do you ever
5,
see
6
yourself
months?
being employable again?
Oh, God, I hope not. I don't plan on going back. I definitely. So I'm gonna fight to make sure that doesn't happen.
Right. I know. I got spoiled from work. There's no way someone would hire me now. I mean, with the way I'd be like, 9 o'clock. What are you talking about? I try not to get out of bed before 10. No.
And that's what started it too. It'd be like, if I want to be 10 minutes late, I should be allowed to be 10 minutes late.
Right.
This is my time, not yours.
Right.
So they didn't like that very much.
So man, can you tell me a little bit about the progress of getting there? Any specific properties that really help you get to that milestone or anything like that?
I mean, a variety of different things, just staying motivated, staying consistent. We go to plenty of networking events to just learn and figure out how did other people do this,
right?
And just copy everything that everybody else does. And
that's the simplest way to the end.
Yeah, it's worked. It's worked very well. We've learned how to create our own lists and create our own marketing, and I can thank you for that too.
Hey, it works, pay it forward, right?
It worked really well. So we've just done that, and just stay consistent and keep going. And some days are harder than others, but
yeah. But that's when you go to the beach, right?
That's right. We just came back from the beach.
Yeah. So going through, y'all have done 20 plus properties somewhere in that time frame. If there was one of those properties that you could go back on right now, which one do you think was the best property you ever did, and why?
I've got a few I could choose from, but I guess our favorite one is one that we actually kept. It was a pre-foreclosure. We sent them a mail piece, and it was actually the tenant that called us, and the tenant actually ended up being the sister of the family member who they had been divorced. So one lived in Fort Worth and one lived in Missouri, I think.
The owners? The divorced owners?
Divorced owners. So one left for Missouri, told the sister to move in and keep paying the mortgage. They didn't want to deal with it, so they left, put her in. Well, she lost her job. and so stopped paying the mortgage. So she, by then, had her job back, but couldn't afford to reinstate the loan. So we talked about it, and she really wanted to stay in the house. She can afford to make the payments. And wanted her kids to stay there and keep going to school there. She'd already lived there for 3 or 4 years at this point. So we talked about it, and we said, okay, if we reinstate this loan, are you going to keep paying the mortgage if we let you live here? And she said yes. And I said, okay, great, because if you stop, then that's it. And so we spent, after closing and reinstatement, we spent about $10,000 we put it into the deal. We took it subject to. So all we had to do was reinstate, closing costs and everything. That brought the balance to $40,000, and the house right now is worth about $170,000.
That's a big spread there.
10 years left on the mortgage, and she's still paying on it every
Are you
month.
collecting any spread between the two? Or?
Like $100 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've got a really nice equity position, so if she fails to pay, you're going to cash out a really nice payday.
Yeah.
Or keep it and just cash flow as a rental or something
we've
like that.
thought about it too, and if she stays there long enough and it's paid for, then we'll just move in. So many options. I don't know what we're going to do.
That's amazing. So technically, you just added almost $130,000 to your net worth over $10,000 paid back instantaneously on your net worth,
and it just cost us $10,000 to get into it.
Pay $10,000 for $130,000. How many people would like to pay $10,000 for $130 grand? I'll line up for that one all day long.
Yeah, so that's our favorite one. So
That's
far.
amazing, the amount of equity you're able to pull on that. So if that's your favorite one, you said you got a couple of them. So top the 130 grand on a signature.
Oh yeah. So I mean, there's others, but that's definitely our favorite. There's another one that we bought for $80,000. We were gonna flip it. We just put it on the market, pre-marketed it, and ended up making $35,000 without touching it.
So all you did you take it down and then list it on the MLS, or so? Yeah, that's an amazing strategy in this market right now, with as hot as it is. If you can take care of it and just take it over and then turn around and market it on the MLS. Stuff flies.
And then all we did is it was kind of messy on the inside, so we just had an estate sale from Craigslist. We just posted an estate sale, and people came out and cleared it. People were lined up 30, 45 minutes early just to come in and grab. People were taking food.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever.
Wow. It's an easy way to clean up the property, right?
It is, yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you found that one? You know, how you were able to squeeze that kind of profit margin out of that?
That one was a driving for dollars. We were outdoor knocking.
I love driving.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We were outdoor knocking. We saw this house, and it was a mess. And we put a door hanger on the door, and it took him a good month or two to call us, but as soon as he did, we made him an offer, and he accepted first offer.
That was great. Kind of makes you wonder if you should have went in a little
I know,
lower, but I mean, 35,
that's what
35,
we were thinking.
right?
We were like, dang it, should have started lower.
Right. Did you ever watch that or read that article where I talk about offering sellers $1 for their property?
Of course I have, yeah.
That's worked kind of well for me.
Yes, yeah. I've been meaning to try that. I need to get my spiel down.
Yeah, you work that in, and you gotta pick the seller that you do it with, because sometimes if it's a really intent, numbers oriented person, and you throw that out there, it doesn't work so well. But if you got that real friendly social person, and you throw, oh man, it works every time.
Yeah, I can picture that. I need to do that. I've read that article. Yeah.
So what do you say your number one activity from day to day is as a real estate investor? What is like the non-negotiable every single day you must accomplish, and if you don't, it doesn't work?
Oh, just stay motivated, stay busy, don't stop. I create a to-do list that I must get done every single day, and I stay to it. I make sure I don't go to sleep until it gets done. Otherwise, it's just going to be even longer the next day.
Right. So with you and your husband partnered together on this business, does one of y'all kind of maintain one side of the business, or do y'all work pretty much both sides of the business at all times? Or
right now it's kind of uneven because I am full-time and he still works. So it's mainly on me, and I take care of what needs to be done, and he just gets off of work and I just hand him the list and say, you do this.
All right, that works. That works, right?
Yeah, so once he quits, I'm sure it'll be more even. I've already got it in my brain how it's gonna go, but we're just not there yet.
So you've mentioned a little bit about your marketing and stuff like that. Is there any specific marketing channels that you're using? And I know some people don't want to let the cats out of the bag. But I mean, like, are you doing direct mail, driving for dollars, bandit signs, mass media, pay-per-click? Is there any specific strategies that you're currently working on that are pulling it in for you?
I mean, it's a good it's a good mixture. It's mainly direct mail. And then while we're out driving to the appointments, if we see a driving for dollars house, then we'll put a door hanger on it. We'll write it down. We'll skip trace it. Call them. That's our favorite. We love finding vacant houses that way. And then if the mail comes back, we also skip trace them and call them as well.
That's great.
We've gotten a few deals that way too.
I know. Hearing you say that, I hear a lot of people, especially newer investors, are like, "Well, I can't do direct mail. Everybody else is doing direct mail." But here you are doing direct mail and scoring deals. So, what is your advice to those people that are all freaked out? Like, I can't do direct mail. Somebody else is already doing it.
Don't not do something because everybody else is doing it. You just have to do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be more creative. Anytime we go to a house and they have other marketing, we always look at it, take it home maybe. We got a big trash bag full of other people's marketing.
Right. I used to do that I used to actually pay my sellers for their old marketing, for their marketing. So like if I'm going to a pre-foreclosure and I see a stack of marketing over there, I'd be like, it doesn't, since we've already came to terms and everything, if you don't mind, I could have that, or, I'd give you $25 for it or whatnot. And a lot of times I'd give them $25 for that stack of mail. And by doing that, what that would do is remove my competitors' marketing from their hands, and B, it would give me the opportunity to see what my competitors were doing. And when you're doing pre-foreclosure market, you got more competitors than just investors. You got bankruptcy attorneys, you've got mortgage modifiers. You got all kinds of competition out there. So it's funny that you got that. So you go home, sift through, and see what's going on.
Yeah, he loves to do that. Look through everybody's marketing and see what he likes, and take that and mix and match it, and so.
So, what is your personal goals over the next, year, looking forward?
Definitely I want to get him out of his job. That's our main goal right now. Is I'd really like for both of us to be doing this full time. And after that, I really just want to start putting systems in place, scale it up. Right now we do everything, just the two of us. And it's hard. It's hard, especially with the amount of work that we do. We do everything, just us two. So I really want to start hiring people, getting some help.
What probably the fastest way to get him out of his job would be, right? Get him fired.
Get him fired.
Get the back against the wall, and then just once.
I swear he tries to get himself fired every day.
I mean, for me, when I got started, it was that I put my back against the wall. I just went ahead and said, what, I'm done. I jumped out of the job and went straight for it. So.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just make a phone call or two and get him fired.
So let's not tell him that right now. Let's keep that between us. And he'll get there. I feel like it's really close. I do. Every day I look at it, I'm like, oh, we're so close. We're right there. So I'm hoping by at least before the end of the year.
So talking about that property where you captured the $130,000 in equity by signing a piece of paper, that was a subject to transaction. Is there any other transactions that y'all are focusing on? I know you talked about a lot about wholesaling. Y'all are looking to do some more owner financing. Are y'all expanding outside of that, or is that your primary focus to wholesales and sub two?
No. We're trying to get farther away from wholesaling. Okay. Our main goal right now is the owner financing, wrapping, or buy it and see what you can get for it on MLS, or if we have to, we'll fix it. But that's what we love. It's just so easy to sell on MLS for as is right now.
It really is right now.
It's so easy. So it's either that, or if we can get it subject to, if they'll agree to it, then absolutely we're going to try and wrap it. We really want that passive income right now.
So what does your sub 2 deals look like? Is there a specific model that you're following on those?
Model like price points? Equity
margins, rental versus cash flow as far as?
We're not big fans of rentals. I think once we get more into a buyer's market, we'll look more at rentals. But right now it's a little bit harder to find a good rental that gets good cash flow at the same time. So that's not our main focus. But no, I don't care how much equity it comes with. If they'll leave their loan in place and it makes sense, then we're going to wrap it.
Well, I know that there's a lot of investors out there right now, especially newer investors getting into this business, that don't understand how a subject to transaction works, or a wrap, or anything in those lines. Are y'all partnering with other people to, let's say somebody else has a low equity deal that has a seller that's willing to hold the loan in place and let you take it over? Are you willing to partner with those types of people and or purchase them as a wholesale?
Yeah, I think depending on how much equity and how much cash flow it brings, we'll either just buy them out or we can partner based on a percentage. But if it's low equity, most of the time we'll just pay them a wholesale fee and say thanks.
Right.
If there's more of a spread there and it makes sense, then yeah, absolutely, we'll definitely partner.
If somebody wanted to reach out to you and bring a deal to you, how would they go about doing that?
Well, you can email us at tebproperties@gmail.com. It's pretty simple. It's our name, Tiger, Erica Butler, properties@gmail.com. And we both pay attention to that email, so we're always on it.
So now that you're moving into this owner finance structure, what are you doing with these properties when you get them? I mean, are you like doing massive rehabs on them, or are you just taking them as is and turning them around, or is it kind of vary from property to property?
It varies. It varies a lot. It's not uncommon to get a property that's in perfect condition and take it sub 2 and then sell it, because those are usually the ones that have absolutely no equity, so the sellers don't know what to do with it. If it does need a lot of work, depending on what the numbers are, we'll see about at least making it livable and selling it owner finance that way. If it's impossible to make it livable and owner finance it, then as long as there's enough equity there, then we'll just pre-market it on the MLS or think about flipping it or something. We kind of don't like to sell just a complete trashed out house, owner finance. It's just, we try to remain ethical.
Kind of setting it up for a problem down the line.
Yeah, exactly.
So going through that same scenario, how hard is it for you to find your buyers on the backside, or are you pretty well moving that through, working out just fine?
Yeah, that's the easy part.
Okay. Are you requiring down payments?
Yes.
What are your typical structured terms with your end buyers?
Usually we like about 15% of a down payment is our go-to. We try not to get anything higher than that, because then it just makes it harder to find buyers. We try to make sure the numbers are fair, comparable to rent rates and everything like that.
Are you when you're turning around selling these on a wrap, are you using a debt service company, or are you handling the mortgage all on your own, bringing them in, distributing the incomes, or using a third-party servicing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's work that I don't want to deal with. Yeah.
All right, because you happen to remember kicking out the 1099s, the income statement.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So somebody take care of all that for you.
Oh yeah, I'd rather just receive it in the mail. Thanks.
And now that you've got some of these going, you having any issues with your end buyers, or has things been rolling smooth?
Yeah, we have had one where we've been having some issues, but he's just been consistently late.
Okay.
So, but we're a month ahead on the mortgage, so it's
no
big deal.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the worst that we've had so far.
Do you have any advice for somebody coming in like this that's looking to do business like this, as to what to watch out for, what to keep your ear to the ground on?
If you're gonna do owner finance or sub 2 or wrap or anything like that, don't do it by yourself. Get some help, get some expertise, because it sounds easy in theory, but there's so many moving parts. It's a lot more difficult than you think.
I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot to consider. There's a lot of I's and T's to be dealt with that need to be dotted and crossed, and you miss one of those up and you kind of got some trouble.
It all just feels like it unravels at once. So yeah, definitely something to watch out for. Don't do it by yourself. It's difficult.
Cool. What pushed you in that direction? I mean, out of all the strategies you could have went with, why sub 2 owner financing?
It goes back to our why. Why did we start doing this? We didn't start doing it to be millionaires and live this luxurious life. We did it because we want to just go travel the world and just have that money show up in the mailbox. That's all we really want. And we feel like the best way to do that is through owner finance.
That's awesome. So how far out do you see that dream being? I mean, I see your face all parked out. You're all like, boom.
Hopefully within, a couple years or so. But I'm sure we'll travel a little bit, then we'll get bored, and then we'll come back and try to figure out something to do. He gets bored so easily. So, but that's hopefully in the next year or two.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And y'all aren't that old. Y'all are mid-20s?
Mid-20s, yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there. Probably.
He calls me old, so thank you.
So out there in your mid-20s, and y'all are going to be financially retired more than likely here in several years. And that's awesome for somebody that's that young to be able to come across with that. I mean, there's many people that work 20, 30 years and are still on a paycheck-to-paycheck basis. And there's only truly one way to retire, and that's to have passive income that's greater than your expenses.
Yeah,
and y'all are really quickly putting that together.
Working on it.
I know from my own personal experience that as that passive income and or the income in general just starts becoming to a point where you no longer need it, the business just skyrockets from there because you're starting to make your decisions based upon what do I want versus what do I need. And like you're going in to negotiate a deal, and instead of negotiating that deal based upon I need this deal, you're negotiating that deal based on I'm not going to do it unless I make 30 grand.
Yeah.
And when it completely changes your negotiations up because you no longer have that mental thought process of I need this. And
Yeah, absolutely.
so I really see over the next year and a half that y'all are just going to just go through the roof, and I look forward to seeing that happen for y'all.
Us too.
Well, if anybody, like you said, if anybody wanted to reach out to you, it's tebproperties@gmail.com.
Yes, tebproperties@gmail.com.
Okay. So you're looking for wholesales, preferably subject to owner financing transactions, or are y'all considering any rehabs? I know y'all accidentally rehabbed a property, but
Yeah, I mean, we'll consider everything as long as the numbers make sense based on what we want to do with it. We'll absolutely consider
is
it.
there any specific area you like to buy in, or
No, anywhere
anywhere?
in the DFW area.
Yeah. I did one property down in Humble, Texas.
I don't even know where that is.
That is about 15 minutes north of Houston.
Oh, okay.
And it was an accident. I wasn't marketing that area at all. Are you familiar with the car sign campaign I was doing?
Yes.
So I was doing a car sign campaign, and one of my vehicles was on their way down to Austin. And just so happened that somebody saw it in Austin that lived in Houston. And I got a phone call out of Austin for the property. I ended up buying a property in Humble, Texas.
Hey, if the numbers are right.
Yeah, it's like if the numbers are right, I'll do it. And I mean, the numbers were really right on that one. I was like, I didn't have access to MLS or anything down there, so I was calling real estate agents like, what's this property going to be worth? And you know how much of a hassle that can be.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then you got to make sure that they're right and they know what they're doing.
Yep. So it ended up being a deal though. So if anybody wants to reach out, sub 2 deals, low equity owner finance and/or rehabs, it's tebproperties@gmail.com. And as always, if you'd like to see more interviews just like this, follow us on Propelio. Look at us there on YouTube, subscribe. And as always, check out Propelio.com to see more just like this. Thank you.